how to manage people, how to manage all the communication skills, government, banking, numerology, worldwide. It doesn't matter what your language is, all world leaders belong to the Masonic order, and they act together.
The Frankfurt School in Political Correctness, Michael Minicino observed how the heirs of Marcuse and Adorno now completely dominate the universities, teaching their own students to replace reason with politically correct ritual exercises. There are very few theoretical books on arts, letters or language published today in the United States or Europe which do not openly acknowledge their most negative, destructive criticism possible of every sphere of life, which would be designed to destabilize society and bring down what they saw as the oppressive order. Their policies, they hoped, would spread like a virus, continuing the work of the Western Marxist by other means, as one of their members noted. To further the advance of their quiet cultural revolution, but giving us no idea about their plans for the future, the school recommended, above other things, 1. The creation of racism offences. 2. The continual change to create confusion.
Change is good.
3. The teaching of sex and homosexuality to children. 4. The undermining of schools and teachers' authority. 5. Huge immigration to destroy identity. 6. The promotion of excessive drinking. 7. Emptying the churches. 8. An unreliable legal system with bias against victims of crime. 9. Dependency on the state or state benefits. 10. Control and dumbing down of media. 11. Encouraging the breakdown of the family. One of the main ideas of the Frankfurt School was to exploit Freud's idea of pansexualism, the search for pleasure, the exploitation of the differences between the sexes, the overthrowing of traditional relationships between men and women. To further their aims, they said they would attack the authority of the father, deny the specific roles of father and mother, and wrest away from families their rights as primary educators of their children. Abolish differences in the education of boys and girls. Abolish all forms of male dominance, hence the presence of women in the armed forces. Declare women to be an oppressed class and men as oppressors. Munzenberg summed up the Frankfurt School's long-term operation thus: "We will make the West so corrupt that it stinks." And I'm sure that you can recognize a lot of that agenda going on right now today.
We're going to join the press conference with the Health Secretary.
To the Downing Street Daily Coronavirus Briefing. I'm joined by the Chief Medical Officer, Professor Chris Whitty, and the Deputy Chief Scientific Advisor, Angela McLean. I want to start by thanking everyone who is staying at home, even in this sunshine. Together, we are slowing the spread of this virus. And I want to pay a special tribute today to Captain Tom Moore, who at the age of 99 has raised over £7 million so far for NHS charities by completing 100 laps of his garden. Captain Tom, you're an inspiration to us all, and we thank you. At the core of our plan is to protect the NHS from being overwhelmed, so its ability to care for everybody who needs that care is always there and is never outmatched by the ability of the virus to do us harm. That is central to our plan, and I'm glad to say that the spare capacity in critical care in the NHS today has reached a new record high of 2,657 beds. Expanding the NHS faster than the growth in demand has been a critical objective throughout this crisis, and it means that every single person who's accessed NHS care has been able to get the very best available. At no point has the NHS been unable to offer care to people suffering from coronavirus. Now, I know at the start of this crisis some people said that would be impossible, but so far we've met this objective throughout, and I want to thank all those involved for their part in this national effort. On the most recent figures, 313,769 people have now been tested for coronavirus. Of these, 98,476 people have tested positive. The number of patients in hospital with symptoms is now 19,529. 12,868 people have sadly died, an increase of 761. This all just goes to show why we cannot let up in our efforts. We cannot let go of the hard work that's been done so far. This shared sacrifice, and I know it's a sacrifice, is starting to work. But we will not lift these measures until it is safe to do so. Everyone who stays at home is doing their bit, protecting the NHS and saving lives. But while everyone else stays at home to save lives, our health and care workers go out to work to save lives. And today I want to focus on social care. I want to set out the next steps in our action plan for social care that we're publishing today. From the moment of the emergence of coronavirus, we've known that some of the most vulnerable to this disease are in social care, and we've been taking action right from the start. We first set out guidance back in February, and today I can tell you what further steps we're now able to make. Our goal throughout has been to protect residents and to support our 1.5 million colleagues who work in social care. We've injected an extra £1.6 billion, and as the Chancellor said, we will do whatever it takes. This is our plan. First and foremost, from the start, we've focused on the need to control the spread of infection in social care settings. Today, we've strengthened the rules so that all care home residents who are discharged from hospital will be tested before being admitted into their care home. We'll test all symptomatic care home residents, and as I announced last Friday, we've introduced testing for all social care colleagues and members of their households who need a test. At the same time, we're increasing again PPE supplies to social care. We're creating a supply, logistics and distribution network of unprecedented scale. Building on the PPE plan I set out on Friday, over the next 3 weeks, we'll continue priority drops to the local resilience forums who distribute to the social care system according to local need, while we roll out our new online delivery system for social care settings. This will be integrated with the NHS supply chain's central PPE logistical operations, with kit shipped directly to social care providers via the Royal Mail. All of this will contribute to slowing the spread of coronavirus within care homes. I want also to enhance support for our social care workforce. One of the things that I'm most proud of during this terrible crisis is that people have held health and social care workers in such high esteem across the board. It's not clap for the NHS, it's clap for our carers. And to take this further, we're today introducing a single brand for social care to symbolise the entire care profession. This is something I know so many people in the profession have called for. This badge will be a badge of honour in a very real sense, allowing social care staff proudly and publicly to identify themselves, just like NHS staff do with that famous blue and white logo. I know that many businesses will want to offer the same recognition and benefits as they do wonderfully to the NHS. We've asked the supermarkets to confirm that social care workers can have the same priority access, and I know that the public value your work in care as much as I do. I also know that we need more people to return to social care or choose to serve for the first time. To make that happen, we're strengthening our national recruitment campaign with the aim of recruiting tens of thousands more people into social care. And we will pay for the initial induction training. This is a job where you have the chance to make a difference to people's lives every single day that you go to work. And I've seen, as I'm sure we've all seen, the amazing efforts of good social care. I've seen it with elderly members of my own family. I've seen the tenderness and the dedication with which people in social care support our loved ones at their time of greatest need. Everyone knows the job isn't easy, whether supporting people of working age, who are some of the most vulnerable in society, or supporting people and their families with dignity at the end of their lives. But I know what a fulfilling profession it is, and I know that many will answer our call. There's one other thing, and one other change I want to make, which is giving people the right to say goodbye. One of the important things that care homes do is support people at the end of their life. Sadly, even in normal times, each month, about 10,000 people die in care homes. And our social care colleagues work incredibly hard to ensure support for people and dignity to people at the end of their lives. Wanting to be with someone you love at the end of their life is one of the deepest human instincts, and it's a moment that will be with you forever. Done right, it can help those left behind to cope, and it brings comfort to those who are dying. Coronavirus, of course, has made this much more difficult, and I've been really moved and upset by some of the heartbreaking stories of people dying without a loved one near them. As a father of a 13-year-old myself, the reports of Ishmael dying aged 13 without a parent at his bedside made me weep. And the sight of his coffin being lowered into a grave without a member of his family present was too awful. So I'm pleased to say that working with Public Health England, the care sector and many others, we're introducing new procedures so we can limit the risk of infection while wherever possible giving people's closest loved ones the chance to say goodbye. And we're making crystal clear that it is unacceptable for advanced care plans, including do not attempt to resuscitate orders, to be applied in a blanket fashion to any group of people. This must always be a personalised process, as it always has been.